Welcome back to Operation Pixel, where Argrid is having Shepard do some lunges.
He's got to work out, man.
Yeah. He needs to work on his form, though.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Ooh. I got 0 Medigel.
Well, it said replenish. Must
I know.
be full.
Hey, Commander.
Alright, so we get to talk to these losers.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good...
You didn't even know him!
Jenkins.
I need to go speak with Joe.
I love how we both said the same
yeah.
thing.
Oh, man.
Glad to see you're okay.
Oh, I guess they don't talk to you yet. Because you haven't officially been promoted yet. I guess that's when you get to start talking to them, once they're your soldiers.
Yeah. Why do they still call you Commander then?
Well, because you're always a commander. I think that's just your role. I think it's sort of like, you know how like a captain pilots a ship,
Yeah.
but he may not necessarily be like the ground commander. So I think this is Admiral Akbar's ship. I can't remember his name. Anderson. It's not
Yeah,
Akbar.
it's Anderson's
Yeah.
ship.
I called him Akbar.
It's a trap.
I knew that wasn't his name, but
Commander, I was just about to bring us into the
Oh, we're gonna see the Citadel now.
yeah. So it's Anderson's ship, but I think you're the soldier.
No, so Anderson's the captain. You're the XO, or the first mate.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know. It's a military thing, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Anderson's the CO, commanding officer,
Mm-hmm.
and yours XO or second in command.
Something like that, yeah.
It actually says that.
Yeah. Yeah, they also say, like, once the ship becomes yours, I think every time you leave it says something like, that someone
Navigator
else is in
press
charge.
leave.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need...
Well, that's the Asari ship there, isn't it?
Yep.
Look
pretty big and ugly.
Its main gun could rip through the
You'd think
barriers and
you'd think the Asari would have had more time to make something a little more artistic, you know?
I do like the way that human ships are represented.
They're sort of like a believable kind of like stylistic to them.
Well, sort of. I mean, you wouldn't need to be aerodynamic unless you're going to fly in atmosphere.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, I guess Normandy does. But yeah.
That's actually something that I was talking about with someone kind of recently. I forget who I was talking to about it. Though I feel like they might have disagreed with me on the point. And I was saying that I actually thought it was kind of interesting in the Star Wars prequels with the design of the ships. Because obviously we grew up with the original trilogy of Star Wars, right, where they had like TIE fighters and X-wings.
Mhm.
So they had to sort of like roll them back to see like what the predecessors to TIE fighters and X-wings were.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of interesting that if you watch the prequels and stuff and look at the spaceships, some of the ships you're like, oh, I can see how that one probably eventually became an A-wing, and this guy eventually became an X-wing, and but like someone could have taken that same design and turned it into a TIE fighter.
We will discuss the CSEC findings at the
I thought that was interesting,
This
just
guy's
seeing sort of a
terrible.
tech tree. Was
Yes.
what?
Spoiler alert, he's terrible.
Yeah, nobody likes Udina. He's like if humans weren't great. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if humans weren't great?
Well, it wasn't until recently that I was playing through this that I realized that it hasn't been that long from the first Contact War.
Yeah.
About 30 years.
Something like that, yeah.
He needs to be stopped.
Which, anyone who's curious, that's sort of a backstory thing that never comes up in-game. They mention it, they reference it quite a bit. But, humans basically found on Mars, a Prothean beacon type thing. And it made our technology super great, and then we're like, oh dude, now we can do space travel stuff. And then once we started doing serious space travel stuff, we ran into the other alien species like Turians, and Turians were like, who are these freaking monkeys in space? And
Yeah.
what do they think they're doing with all this technology?
No, so they activated the soul. Humans activated the soul relay, and you can't activate random relays.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Turians came to investigate, and they're like, "What the heck?" And then
Yeah.
they found humans and they.
Yeah, I don't know the details on how the fight started.
It's actually really funny because the Turians basically blew up the small ship, the small like thing that the humans had at the base. So they're like, oh, that's all they are.
Yeah, it was out by Pluto or something.
And then so they thought that they had won, and but then the Alliance showed up and totally blew the Turians out of the water.
Oh yeah.
And it was I want a game about that.
It could be interesting. I feel like Mass Effect though, without like the aliens, like all the other factions and stuff,
like
and the Turians as the enemies would be like it'd be interesting, but like it would sort of I think go against sort of what Mass Effect has become.
It wouldn't be like a Mass Effect game. It'd be like a side game.
Oh yeah, like if you had like as a DLC kind of thing.
Yeah.
As like a little like side mission thing you
Ooh,
can play
I
through.
love the Elcor.
Yeah, the Elcor are fun.
Hello there, human.
Oh man, there's a fun joke somewhere around here.
Apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
How can you tell?
Well, the thing I like about the Elcor is that they are not human-like at all, other than their eyes, really.
Yeah. They've got a vaguely like humanoid enough face that you can recognize it as a face,
Sorry, do
but
get you so upset?
But yeah, it wasn't just humanoid.
Speak more about this problem. It is too
I also like that they don't understand emotions.
suffice it to say.
They have their own way of sort of conveying that kind of thingy-majig.
Yeah.
Where can I find the Cesari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices
But
are
yeah, somewhere here on the Citadel, they have. Do you ever see the thing on Elcor Hamlet?
Oh yeah.
It is the best.
pleased with
That and Blasto, but Blasto's not in this one. I think he shows up in Mass Effect 2 and 3.
I like Blasto.
Blasto's great.
genuine query.
But Elcor Hamlet's hilarious because they say something like it's an epic 12-hour event or something like that
Why don't you explain what you're
in the trailer.
Our people communicate less through words.
Oh,
than
that-
through
that,
like movements.
Look at that texture, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the game definitely shows signs of being dated, especially on things that aren't as important.
Feelings of our
Like,
contributions to other species.
this is something that I learned from my game design course, for sure, is that, like, the more, like, you're going to be looking at something closely, and the more often it's going to be on screen, like, the more, like, what's a word? There's a good word for it.
I am very sorry for it.
Oh, man. Don't you hate it when you can't remember a word?
Oh yeah, that's me all the time.
It's like a real estate thing. Like, the more visual real estate it takes up. Like, you see, we're looking at Commander Shepard here all the time.
Yeah.
So his textures are amazing, right?
Yeah.
And we have to, like, look at characters' faces a lot, so a lot of faces get, like, a lot of detail and stuff. But things that don't, you know, you don't spend a lot of time looking at or you're not likely to get the camera close to, they tend to cut some corners just so that it loads quickly and displays fine and whatnot. So things like Elcor, which there aren't very many of, and you don't talk to very much, they probably just figured that it wasn't worth, like, necessarily giving them a high-res texture. Because who's going to sit there like, Elcor face?
Well, I just did.
Yep.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
So I don't know if we want to run around as part of the episode, hitting every person here.
This is how I play.
Uh-huh. And no, it's not a bad way to play. See, this is the reason why we don't run games like this on the show specifically. Is because, like,
Yeah.
this is how you play this game. Like, this is how people should play this game, probably.
Yeah.
But, like, as an entertainment source.
I go where I want.
Nobody sends me anywhere. I just need some information.
You humans are always so curious, always sticking your fingers into someone else's pie. Is that the right expression? Never mind.
Why did he use a human expression?
Was there
He secretly likes human stuff. He's super into human culture.
Oh yeah, that'd actually be really funny. That
I
was-
mean, I'm sure some of these people are very curious. If we've only recently joined, like, this council of aliens and
Tell me
stuff,
about your investigation into Sarah.
you know,
Sorry,
like...
I don't make a habit.
And the thing is, humans have very diverse culture too. It's like we don't really know much about the Turians and the Asari, and You know, these other races.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, you know, here on Earth, right? For instance, I'm somewhat interested in Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Because it is so unique in all the world. And a few weeks ago, I was talking with Ark, and he was saying that he was interested in Native American culture.
Oh yeah, Native American.
Because that's also very unique in all the world. And so the point is that there's a lot of that, though. Like, German culture's unique, like, Italian culture's unique. So it's just like this huge pool of thousands of years of history that has been very diverse depending on which region you're in.
Yeah. One thing that I always thought was interesting is the Aborigines from Australia.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about them, except for their boomerangs.
They are the only culture in the world that didn't make a bow and arrow.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
All other cultures invented the bow and arrow separately,
Yeah.
except.
They just made a throwing club and it worked well?
Yep.
What a bunch of nuts!
Thanks, kid.
Yeah.
Have fun.
It's
Is
pretty
it-
rad that it worked, though.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. That's pretty great. Also, I hope everyone realizes that I called them a bunch of nuts because I think it's cool, not because I'm actually insulting them. I don't want anyone to think that...
Why is this here?
The Keeper?
No, why
this
is
area?
this? Yeah.
Because of the Keeper.
But-
There's a side quest to scan like 20 of them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so you have to find all of them in their little hidden places. I think there's actually like 22 on the entire station. So you don't actually need to find every single one. But
See-
it is still hard enough to find 20 of them. Or
I want
whatever
to talk
the number
about
is.
something, but it's major spoilers, and I shouldn't talk about it.
Well, I guess we could do a spoiler warning type thing. And then if anybody wants to, they can mute it for a few minutes or just skip ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk about it. So, spoiler. Warning. 3, 2, 1, super spoiler. Okay.
Yeah, if you're still here, it's your own fault.
Yeah. Okay. So, they're organic, right?
Yeah, more or less.
Then how come they get to survive? In the third one.
I actually don't know how organic the Keepers are.
Like, there's that little cutscene in the third one where, you know, where you go up into the Citadel and there's a bunch of dead humans there. And then the Keeper's just there and he's just sorting through it.
Actually, I don't actually know how organic the Keepers are. To anyone who's here and, you know, listening to the spoiler, the Keepers, I believe, are sort of like an autonomous just life form that's just always existed here on the Citadel.
See, there's one.
And they basically just, like, keep the whole place running. And so it's interesting because you find out that nobody knows who built the Citadel. It's like a huge piece of Prothean technology. And then there's just these weird things here that... Oh, actually they do have robot pieces. Do you see that? Like their elbows?
Is that robotic?
It looks kind of robotic. Oh, definitely like under its leg there.
Yeah.
That looks like a robot thing.
But it looks...
I don't know, man. It's really questionable how organic and how synthetic they are.
I thought they were organic, you know.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. I would have thought so too.
Oh, that's a weird sound.
I don't know how well the microphones or that's gonna come through in the recording, but yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't really know. Cause yeah, I feel like they got to be at least somewhat synthetic. They obviously have like no particular intelligence besides just following a programmed path. So even if they were organic, they're basically organic robots.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
It is weird.
And now this is the fun part of Mass Effect. Waiting in elevators. Oh, and then there's the...
Yeah. I honestly don't mind too much the elevators.
It's better than a loading screen.
Yeah. And part of it's just because like they have like a little backstory background stuff going on
Yeah.
that you can listen into. But part of it is just because like it sort of helps add to the let's see, one term I've heard recently is verisimilitude, which I think is just a really fancy Latin word of saying immersion.
Well, yeah, no, it really brings you into like I said, it's much better than a loading screen. Kind of like how the room loads as the door opens.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got a gun!
dang it!
I like how no one's looking at you, though. You can sit there and fire... Oh my god!
It doesn't let me actually like fire on him.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. Maybe if I get... Can the council... Are the council over there?
Probably not. You just... So Shepard walks into a room and snipes scouts. You know what would be really hilarious?
What?
Is if you did do that, and then the game reacts to it. Like, there's a cutscene where the guy gets shot, and everybody starts panicking. And then, like, we'd be like, oh my god, did anybody know this existed?
I'm sure somebody had done it.
Yeah, sure. If you could have done it, somebody would have tried.
Oh, here's Garrus.
Uh-huh.
Don't be ridiculous.
This guy's like Space Bro.
Investigation is over.
Really? He really is.
He's Space Bro.
It's one of the only characters you have. You can play all three throughout the game.
Uh-huh.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vakarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
You blew it! No, I want to be a good bro with
Yeah.
Garrus.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the council's ready for us, Commander.
Wow, I'm having a nice chat
Yeah,
here,
Kaiden just brushed him off. He's like, Commander, let's not talk with this guy anymore.
Gee, I thought that Ashley
was
would
the
have said
racist.
that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's the rapid transit thing. Oh, the guy with the keep request is right around here. He might be after you talk with the council, though.
Hi, I'm here. I'm making a strong push.
Allowing the humans to join
I think it, one of the other ones, like, I don't know if it was one of the Mass Effects or one of the Dragon Ages or something, but I feel like there's one where if you got close enough to them, they're like, excuse me, we're having a conversation here,
Yeah.
and then they don't start talking again until
there's
you
a-
get out of their face.
There's a few games that are like that.
Uh-huh.
What's this guy?
Oh, he's got a side quest too.
Commander.
Probably after you talk to the council.
I like his name.
Kahoku?
Kahuku.
What do you think he is, Hawaiian? Sounds kind of Hawaiian. I'd believe it if he was Hawaiian.
You know what's another interesting culture is Pacific Islander.
Yeah, they also have very unique cultures.
Every culture's unique.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. You could like, if you were an alien and you just got introduced to human culture, you could probably find a lot of interesting things.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
I also find it interesting just how many guns they let you carry in here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Like, I feel like any other place, in any other world, in any other galaxy, like, if you got invited to go see the president, you wouldn't walk in there with your sniper rifle, assault rifle, pistol, and shotgun on your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got invited to see the,
Oh, by the way, I just want to say it because I always forget it. Is I love how they designed the aliens in this game, because most of them are based off of our view of aliens, like the Solarians, which is the lizard people. They're based off the Greys.
yes, the classic 50s aliens.
Yeah, and then the Asari are based off of Star Trek, beautiful aliens.
Yeah. Captain Kirk's many space princesses.
Yeah,
You're the one who destroyed the beacon. Then you tried
it's a
to
cool
cover
little
it
bit of
up.
trivia.
Uh-huh.
The blame to cover your own face.
I'm curious what the Turians are based on.
I know Krogan were based off something
Maybe I'll
too.
try Googling it really quick.
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the council. You're not even ready to join.
It's also funny that how Spectre is is a human word, and that's their special reconnaissance team.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things where if you really think about this game too much, you'll realize, like, why is everybody in... this is the Thumb Wars joke. You remember in Thumb Wars, there's a scene where the guy's like,
Why do we all speak in British accents when we're from outer space and there's no Britain?
Exactly. Everyone's just like,
Saren's
what?
hiding behind his position as
Well, I mean, the way I think about it, where everybody speaks English, is you have a universal translator that translates it into English for you.
Yeah.
Still one outstanding issue.
But yeah, if it's like an abbreviation thing, where Spectre stands for something, right? That's
Special reconnaissance and something.
Yeah. That is strange that it just like, oh, it works out that perfectly, huh?
Yeah.
Let's see. Mass effect
Do you have anything else to add, Commander?
alien references.
I won't waste my breath.
You're just probably gonna get a bunch of like character sheets or something.
Yeah, probably.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth.
Let's see.
Petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
Do-do-do.
Justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
I'm gonna try this, and if this isn't it, then I'm gonna call it good. 'Cause we're almost done with this episode, anyways. No, poop. Freaking. Not very good at looking stuff up on my phone yet, because I'm still kind of new with the phone. Oh man, this is just references in the game.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason: to exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
How do you know Saren?
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
Now what?
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus? That's
Oh, now he cares about Garrus.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Yeah.
Any idea
What's with
what
the sudden
it
interest,
was?
guys?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus
See,
down.
I don't find this boring at all. Why, like,
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job.
Well, I think again, it sort of depends on like what kind of things you're interested in. Because some people just don't like RPGs, and some people just don't like shooters and stuff. And
yeah.
Shepard will handle this.
like
You can't just cut
with a game like this, you really have to be willing to put in the time and the effort to really just invest in the story and the characters and
I need to take care of some business.
the mystery of it and the action of it. And
Well, I mean, this is like the third time I've played through it, and I'm like,
Drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence.
it's actually kind of interesting because we were talking about Andromeda recently in probably the last episode, I think, maybe the episode before that.
Shadow Broker?
But we were talking about
Buys and sells secrets to the highest
how it was sort of a problem that it was like an open world game.
of the top representatives.
Um,
You might know something about Saren.
and you know, it's kind of interesting because I was thinking about it, and this is actually like,
have a history.
again, since this, I mentioned that this was like each of these was sort of like a level.
I was part
Yeah.
of the
Right.
mission in the Skilling.
So you play through the levels, and in that sense, it's almost kind of linear almost. There's a few decisions on like which order you do things in,
Saren eliminated his
but it's very much like you do one level at a time, like most games.
innocent people,
Um,
and the official
and so it's kind of interesting because it almost gives you the illusion of choice more than you actually have.
yeah.
no hesitation.
Because you still basically have to hit all the
Kill
checkpoints.
1,000 innocent civilians.
But I don't know, I think-
without a second thought.
So would I.
I should go.
The thought crossed your mind. You thought about it for a second, thought better of it, and was like, I better go.
Where am I? Oh, there's the. Okay.
Yep.
What's over here? See, this is like what I like. Is I'm just. Oop! Look,
Yeah, explore around a little bit, see if you can find anything cool.
there's another. It's like
You
the
can
third
you
one.
can probably go talk to Kahoku and the other guy now to get those side quests. But we may just do that next time on Operation Pixel.
And I'll start doing more squats.
I was about to say, can you not do that? There it goes.